Hi, I'm Scott from Wood Lake Nature Center, and on this week's segment of Exploring Nature, we're talking about the power of the sun. Now, you know, everything alive on the planet, humans, all these plants, all the insects, reptiles, amphibians, fish, mammals, birds, all need energy to survive. And what is the source of all that energy? The sun. The sun is our only source of energy. It allows everything to live and grow. Look at these are solar collectors that actually can make their own food. So a leaf on a plant absorbs the sun's energy, and with water from the ground and a chemical called chlorophyll in the leaf, which makes it green, and carbon dioxide from the air, which is what we breathe out, they can actually synthesize or photosynthesize. Photo means light. Synthesize means to make something. They can make their own food from sunlight. And that is the beginning. Then animals can come and eat the plants, or the bees and insects can drink the nectar of the flowers, and that begins the entire food web for the planet. So the sun powers our weather. It is the source of all of our energy. So we demand a lot of energy, and more people on the planet, we need more and more energy to heat our homes, drive our vehicles, cook our food, all kinds of things, and of course to live and grow. So we can use that energy better. We can harvest energy from the sun, but it's kind of technical, but we know a couple of physical laws. First, bright light things like white reflect the sun's energy. That's why wearing a light shirt on a hot day is going to keep you a little bit cooler. Dark things, or black, absorbs all the energy of the sun. That's why it looks black. There's nothing being reflected. On my shirt, every color, and you know that all the colors of the rainbow are in white light. All of those colors are reflected by my shirt, so you see white. Here, all the colors are absorbed, so you see nothing but blackness. So you can see black absorbs. My pants are quite warm. White reflects. So if we can get something really reflective and something black to absorb, that way we can concentrate the energy of the sun. So right here, I have a solar oven. And this is the way a lot of people in different parts of the world that live in sunny places but don't have access to electricity or firewood can actually cook their food. You see we've got some big reflective panels. They're actually made out of aluminum, which is very shiny. We're reflecting all this sunlight down through some glass, which is completely clear, so the light can go right through. And the inside of this is painted black, so it absorbs all the heat. Now the outside of it is insulated, so it keeps the heat in, but you can see that if I can aim this at the sun just right and reflect as much light in there as possible, there's a thermometer right here, and I've only had this out in the sun for about 10 minutes. We're already up to 250 degrees. Now, after about 20 or 30 minutes, this will be up to 300, on a really warm day, 350 degrees. So we can cook food. I could bake a cake or make any kind of food that requires 300 to 350 degrees. So this is an amazing way that we can reflect light and absorb light and be able to cook food. One way we can get energy from the sun that's much more efficient than just the sun that hits us. Now another way we can use reflection and absorption is with mirrors. You can see this mirror right here. I can reflect the sun's light wherever I want it to go. And here I've got a box with a piece of black paper on it. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because there are water towers down in Arizona where they actually paint them black. They're tall, cylindrical water towers, and they have an array of mirrors, thousands of mirrors like this, pointed at the black. And I'll show you what happens. So if I just take the temperature of the paper right now with this infrared thermometer, it's 86 degrees. And that happens to be the temperature of the air right now because I've got it shaded from the sun. But if I turn these mirrors and reflect the sun's energy onto the mirror, am I also reflecting the energy of the sun? I reflected the light, but do I also reflect the energy? Let's find out. If indeed, I reflected the energy onto this black surface. The next time I take the temperature of the paper, it should have gone up, and it is at 100 degrees. We gained 20 degrees of temperature with just one mirror. So then, what if I add more mirrors? Will we reflect even more energy? I'll put a second mirror on there. We'll let it sit for a moment, and I'll take the temperature. And now we are up to 113 degrees. So we'll add another mirror to the same spot, and let's go for it, another mirror. Now, granted, this isn't thousands of mirrors, but you can see the effect. The more mirrors we reflect on that black surface, which is absorbing that energy, the higher the temperature goes. With 4 mirrors, wait for it, I'm up to 150 degrees. 150 degrees. We started out at 86 degrees, and with 4 mirrors, I was actually able to raise the temperature of this paper to 150 degrees. So what does it mean for that water tower in Arizona? They have so many mirrors shining so much energy, it heats up to boiling point, over 212 degrees. Boils water, they take the steam from that water and run a generator that actually powers the town that has that. So generating electricity for an entire town of about 40,000 people using sun energy and a water tower. So another thing we can do besides reflecting sunlight is refracting sunlight. Now I'm wearing refractive lenses. That's what the lenses on my glasses do. They refract the light so that it goes into my eye lens properly and I can see clearly. My eyeball changed shape so that it doesn't focus at the right point on the back of my retina. So these lenses refract or bend the light so that it focuses on the right part of my retina. So if we take a refractive lens like this one here, you can see it's perfectly clear glass. It's got kind of a convex shape to it. And we use that and focus the light. What this does is it focuses the sunlight onto a black piece of paper. And when I get to the focal point, you'll see smoke. It's actually burning a hole through the paper. That's over 450 degrees to do that right there. Fahrenheit 455, that is the title of a book. That's what paper burns at, 455 degrees. So you can see just using this little 4-inch diameter sunlight, I actually can get enough energy focused on the paper to burn a hole in it. That's the power of the sun. So it could be dangerous too. You'd have to be very careful doing this so you never point that or focus it on your skin, because that would give you an instant second-degree burn. And you can see that hole. Now with modern technology, we no longer need this thickness of glass in this concave shape to actually refract light. We can actually do it more efficiently with a very thin piece of plastic. This is called a Fresnel lens. It was created by Dr. Joseph Fresnel, who actually invented the lenses in lighthouses that could take a candlelight and project it miles out to sea. So using his technology idea, we've taken an 1/8-inch piece of plastic and cut very, very perfect grooves in it, much like a record. And you can see it looks kind of crazy. If I get in there, whoa, really crazy. It magnifies, refracts the light, magnifies much more efficiently than a glass concave lens or convex lens does. So when I just take 1 square foot of sunlight, remember with the little round one, with about 4 inches of sunlight, and we could focus it to about 455 degrees. This is taking 1 square foot of sunlight and focusing it even more perfectly down to a single pinpoint at a focal length of about 11 inches. And watch what happens to this piece of wood. It takes over 650 degrees to burn wood. And we're going to go right to the focal point right there. And you can see instant flame. So we're over 650 degrees. In fact, you can melt lead with this lens. It actually, the temperature right there is about 1,000 degrees. 1 square foot of sunlight creating 1,000 degrees of heat energy right at that focal point. So that's pretty amazing. You can see the flame right there, but also very dangerous. Would never put a body part there. You've got instant 3rd degree burns. It would just burn the flesh right off of your skin, right off of your finger. So amazing technology. If we can figure out how to use this more efficiently than just starting wood on fire, we could really harness some powerful energy from the sun. And last but not least, you've probably heard of solar cells or photovoltaics. That is a special cell that's been developed that actually absorbs light of the sun and turns it directly into electricity. Now, it's not as efficient. There is some energy lost in the process of turning it into electricity, making electrons flow. But the amazing thing is, you see if I have the car upside down, if I turn the car right side up, this is an electric car. So someday, maybe you'll be driving a Tesla or Volt, some other kind of electric car that has solar cells all on the roof so that you never need to plug it in and charge it up. It absorbs energy from the sun to charge the batteries, and then you can drive around all day on solar power. Now, even the gas that we use in our cars today was created by the sun. It grew plants and the dinosaurs millions of years ago that died, decomposed, and if they were in the right conditions, they decomposed into coal, oil, and natural gas. And so we can pump those fossil fuels out of the ground and get the energy out of them, energy that was stored in the earth millions of years ago. But if we can get energy from the plants around us, like ethanol is made from corn and biodiesel from soybeans, we can use fresh fuel that's being made by the sun every day, and it's better for our environment and it costs less to produce. So that's the way of the future. Biofuels and also photovoltaics, maybe concentrating energy with lenses or reflecting and absorbing light. Those are all the ways we can use to use the sun's energy to produce our electricity that we need, or the energy that we need to heat and cool our homes, our transportation systems, and even our manufacturing systems. That's how we grow all of our food, right? So nature is amazing, and there's so much energy in the sun. So on our building, you might see these same solar cells right on the roof of the building up there. We put those up there about 20 years ago, so the technology is not as good as today's technology, but those solar panels on our roof actually produce 10% of the electrical needs of our building. So if we had 10 times that many cells, we could run the entire building and maybe even sell some energy back to Xcel Energy. Now, these systems are becoming more and more efficient and better all the time. Scientists are improving the way these things work and making the cost of them even less. So if you're considering changing the heating system of your home, maybe you have natural gas now, you might consider photovoltaics in the future, because it's an amazing way to get energy from the sun. And I've got friends that have actually done it and now actually make more energy from the sun than they use in their home, and they sell some back to the energy company and actually get a dividend check every month, especially during the summer months. They do end up paying a little in during the winter months when they're using a lot of energy for heating, but in the summer, they actually get a refund. So they basically break even. So that is the wave of the future. Thanks for viewing today. Enjoy being out in the sun. Remember, the sun is dangerous. Your skin actually turns tan to protect you from the harmful rays. The ultraviolet light is what the plants use. It even comes through the clouds, and it can actually burn your skin. So if you're going to be out in the sun for more than a half an hour, be sure to wear sunscreen. The sun ultraviolet going through our skin reacts with a fat layer and gives us vitamin D. So you're actually getting more vitamins when you're out in the sun. So spend time outside, be in the sun, but be safe and be good scientists. Maybe you'll come up with the next great invention that helps us use the sun and all the power of the sun to help everybody on the planet live better and more environmental.